John Bruna here with the Daily Quote. Such a joy to be with you this morning. Let's go ahead and get right to it. We have the opportunity to learn to engage in life on life's terms and to find value and meaning in all of our experiences. Instead of simply being a victim of our circumstances, we can be an active participant in our growth. Well, easier said than done, right? Very much so. We are living in challenging times. There's so much coming at us so quickly these days. Our lives are now very full. We have all these devices and activities to engage with, in theory, to make our life more simple, easier. But in fact, it really does quite the opposite. Do you remember, well, if you're old enough anyway, life before cell phones? Heck, I remember life before answering machines. You used to, well, call someone if they weren't home. There was no message. There was phone just rang. You didn't know if somebody called you, it didn't call you, let alone, texting. These devices, these activities, the technology that we live in today just fill our life, right? Fill our life so much. It's not like we just come home and we have time to be with ourselves, with our families, with our friends, to be creative, to think about what to do or who we'd like to see, or let alone write a letter, read a book. Our lives are very full. There's a lot of, well, division in the country and in the world. And sometimes we can be feeling overwhelmed, imprisoned by the circumstances of our lives and the news that comes at us, and not even have an opportunity to recognize the value of the life you're already living, everything that you've accomplished, the life that you get to participate in. When's the last time you just sat in your own home and taken a little time to reflect upon everything that you've done in your life to have such a home, such a life? The friends that you have in your life, the challenges that you've overcome in your life, the accomplishments that you've attained in your life. Everything that is coming our way today, everything is literally an opportunity to engage in life. It's how we make meaning and purpose of our lives, the suffering that we incur in our mental and emotional experience here. Well, believe it or not, it has less to do with the circumstances and more to do with how we relate to and engage with those circumstances. In truth, everything that comes our way is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to improve, to bring meaning to the lives that we get to live. Now, as I mentioned, that's much easier said than done, but it starts with stopping this intense habit of thinking things should be different than they are. That's where the vast amount of our suffering lies. And just shifting that from thinking things should be different to wanting things to be different. To that, we have some empowerment. Things are the way they are, and there's a lot of suffering thinking they shouldn't be the way they are. That's absolutely resisting reality. Wanting things to be different than they are, well, that's much more based in reality, and it empowers us to engage in life as it is and see what we can do to improve it. And usually it begins with improving ourselves, taking good care of ourselves so that we can engage in life in ways that can improve it, can be more productive. If you have not seen a little TED Talk by Sam Burns on his philosophy of happiness. This is a young man with a very rare disease that aged him very quickly. He wasn't going to live long. And he has this inspiring talk about understanding his philosophy for happiness in facing life on life's terms in ways that most of us probably could not relate to, knowing that you're aging, you'll die young, that your body is deteriorating, and his incredible strive to live a meaningful life. And one of the key things he states, is to focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. Very simple, very straightforward. But the more we focus on solution, the more solutions we have. The more we focus on the problems, the greater the problems become. So much of our life we can improve simply by focusing on what we can do instead of simply wanting things to be different than they are. We don't need to be a victim of our circumstances. We get to become an active participant in living a meaningful and purposeful life, which not only improves our lives, it improves the world that we live in. Hope you find this helpful.